a learning process. Please share the space. No. All right, I have to get the screen share going. Turn on the audio. Share. Add to stage. Look at that. Slowly figuring it out. Holy echo. Hold on. Nobody talk for a second. Why is there an echo from hell? I think I figured it out. I had to mute. I forgot to mute the tab for both of them. I haven't been the one to do this yet. Using Rumble Studio is brand new for us. Been using it for less than a week.
Spare.
Probably going to change.
It might. We're exploring our options.
That's because Rumble doesn't support freaking phones.
Just stupid.
Okay. So I'm going to mute here for a second because I'm going to test to make sure that the audio is coming through right on this Rumble stream.
Test.
Testing.
I'm going to mute here for a second because I'm going to... All right. Audio is good. Learning process. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Every day is an adventure. All right. Well, welcome to our Wednesday. Oops. See, I need to remember that I need to not like touch host stuff right
now. Who muted the whole damn space?
And I unmuted it. Now it's muted again.
No, just leave it alone.
I'm not going to touch it.
Touch it.
I'm not going to do any approvals.
It's unmuted.
I'm not going to do anything. Sorry. I just saw that a request was sitting there for like an extended period of time, so I was going to take care of it. But
same.
If you have not already, please repost the space. If you are watching on the stream, if you would like to join in the conversation with like on the audio side of things, then you can join the space on X. Otherwise, you can just type in the chat and we'll respond there as we can.
Best to pay attention.
And I'll read it. That's not a problem. I can handle that much. All right.
Reading. She's reading.
Reading what?
That's what you just said. I'll read it.
Yeah, I'll read chat as it comes through.
Oh. Well, yeah, I have it chat up too. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you want to actually speak, you got to come onto X. If you just want to give input in the conversation in chat, we'll read your chats. No big deal.
Very rarely check the purple pill.
Very rarely, yes. All right.
Hello, AOC.
Hey,
AOC's in the Rumble chat. AOC's in the Rumble chat.
All right. Well,
we're super professional.
Mm-hmm. Always. Always.
Got a duck on my shirt.
Whack.
Right, bang, actually. A grenade.
All right. Alrighty. So shall we get started?
I guess.
You guess.
Do we have to?
I mean, we don't have to. We can just stare at each other or sit in silence for those of you that aren't on camera. That's fine. All right. So we have some topics to cover tonight, but I think the biggest one that everybody's going to want to talk about is the first 3 days of the Tyler Robinson hearing. I know I have notes for day 2 and day 3. I believe Sippy's the one with notes for day 1. You want to get us
Yeah, I
started?
got somewhat notes for day 1. Yeah. Let me see if I still. Oh. So you had Officer Bagley first, and he basically just laid out the layout, I guess, of the campus. That's pretty much what he talked about for the most part. He was also the first officer on the roof. He's the one that found the screwdriver. He saw like indentions in the gravel roof, like looking like somebody was in the prone there. I mean, there really wasn't much from day.
Yeah, day 1 and day 3 are both pretty lackluster. A lot of it came in day 2.
That's what she said.
So the end of day 1 had that video compilation. It's State's Evidence Exhibit 12.1. And so it was an edited version of this video compilation of Tyler Robinson at, like, on the campus, like on and off the campus, because he came on and off like 4 times between the 10th and
I
11th.
didn't cover about day 1. The other dude that came up, the SBI investigator, the lead investigator.
Yeah, David Hull.
Yeah, David Hull. He actually started out day 2.
Yes.
But the defense has been fucking annoying, so he basically got one thing through on day 1.
Yeah, it's been rough with the defense. Like, I get it, they're doing their job, but damn. All right. So that video compilation was they originally tried to introduce it on day 1, but they weren't able to because they didn't have the unedited version on hand, and they didn't want it. They didn't want it like introduced because of, no way to compare. Like, this is what the zoom in did and the blurring and the circles and all that. So they didn't have the unedited one on hand. So that kind of got brought in first thing on day 2. So they admitted and publicly published 12.4, which is the unedited version.
12. Another thing about day 1, real quick.
Sippy.
Sorry, I forgot about this, and this is fucking important.
Why I'm reading from my notes.
Tyler Robinson was seen laughing as he was being accused of murdering Charlie Kirk.
Yes, he was.
Just feet away from Erica Kirk.
Yeah. So 12.1 and 12.4 were both admitted into evidence and that's not evidence for the trial itself. That's just evidence for the preliminary hearing. It's what the judge is going to use to determine probable cause and whether or not trial can move forward. So they did play 12.1, then they played 12.4. They did not publicly play 12.1 because it was essentially the same thing, just edited. And so since the unedited version already had been played for the public, the judge basically said we don't need to play it because it's just the same thing. But he did watch specific parts of it privately, so that his viewing of it's on record. And then cross-examination, it really didn't amount to anything from the defense.
Yeah, defense is worthless.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the defense is essentially just continuously objecting to every piece of evidence because that's their job, right? They're just objecting to every piece of evidence, trying to keep
No,
it from
they have
coming
to
in.
have justification, or they're going to get freaking sanctions. But this judge is just
They have a standing reason at this point because they've objected to the evidence so many times. It's just
literally
objection.
everything. I haven't heard a
standing reason.
I haven't heard a single one that they didn't object to. Have you?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't think so. And then they introduced Exhibit 5.1, which is an 1102 statement, that is a sworn testimony or video that is admissible hearsay in Utah. So it was a written statement from David Englehart, TPUSA, and that was a long debate on whether or not that was getting introduced as well, because it talks about Charlie Kirk and his political stances and his religious beliefs and all this kind of stuff. And even though defense had already quoted parts of it, they didn't want it in. It was weird the way that they tried to justify not bringing it in after they'd already talked about parts of it themselves. And then they recessed for lunch. And then Jennifer Famuina, or Jen Famuina, Famuina, Famuina. I had to wait for it to come up on the screen to figure out how to spell it, because it sounded like Amelina at first, and I was like, okay. So she currently works for the Department of Public Safety, and she was connected to the handling of the gun when it was found. So she gathered that evidence, and then it went to the FBI and then the ATF lab. And then they brought in Exhibit 31, which is the FBI report on DNA testing for the screwdriver and the towel, and those got admitted. So the towel is item 7 and the screwdriver is item 8. The towel was found around the Mauser 30-06, and the screwdriver was found on the perch. And so then they talked about, just the basics of the DNA testing, right? That the towel had 2 male contributors, Twiggs and Robinson, and the screwdriver handle had 2 male contributors, Twiggs and Robinson, and their DNA was from buccal swabs. So that was the chances of it being someone other than Robinson, in addition to being Twiggs, was like anyone other than Robinson. One of them, it was like several octillion to 1, and the other was like quintillion, like several quintillion to 1. So it's near impossible. And then the cross-examination of Famuina was delayed because Amanda Baker, the next witness, but this one was a witness for the defense, came up, and because she was going out of town, so she was on a time constraint. So Amanda Baker was the FBI DNA analyst that did the primary analyzing of the DNA on the towel and the screwdriver. So they say that again, Truth.
Didn't they find Twig's DNA somewhere among it all?
Yeah, on the towel and the screwdriver handle. Yeah, his DNA is on both. So
in their house, where they probably used them for nasty.
Yeah, I mean, they're objects from their house. I mean, I'll get to like the actual like DNA percentage in just a second. So basically, the defense spent hours with this woman, to the point where the prosecution only got about 20 minutes to cross-examine because of them being pretty hard on a close at 5 Mountain Time. So they spent a ton of time going FBI policy and procedure for DNA reports and the policies and procedures for testimony and all this kind of stuff. It was just such a waste of time. Like they were actually introducing the FBI's policy and procedure for DNA reports as evidence. It was just so ridiculous. So the defense was trying to like poke holes in this DNA analysis because the number of contributors changed from 3 to 2. Now there's a reason it changed from 3 to 2. Okay. So our DNA is, we have all these alleles that, we get half from our mom, half from our dad, right? So, number of alleles in common is kind of like how we determine ancestry and genetic relation and all that. So it's the boxcar theory or whatever. So essentially these are these boxes and you have a certain number of boxes in each part of your DNA. So you have 2 boxes, right? In each, and there's like a number that coincides with each of the boxes. I know it's really confusing. Just look up DNA boxcar or whatever.
Don't, because it'll put you to sleep.
If you really want to understand it more, how about that? So at cursory glance, there were 3 boxes in one area. Okay. So if someone's DNA is showing up on something, it doesn't have to be both of their boxes showing up, just one. So 3 boxes would mean that there's a possibility of 3 contributors. But that's before there was any elimination DNA. Okay. So if you go from 3 boxes and you get an elimination sample of DNA, in this case, twigs, out of those 3 boxes, 2 of them belong to twigs, which means only 1 box is left. It means there can only be 1 other contributor. I hope that makes sense. So that's why it was changed from 3 to 2. And even though Baker is the one that did the primary DNA analysis, it's actually FBI lab policy, that a second analyst runs it as well and compares. So the defense spent hours essentially filibustering the time with this witness. And so the prosecution finally got some time with her, only about 15 to 20 minutes. And on cross, it did come up that, because I think they were trying to, like, the defense was trying to make it seem plausible that Twiggs was actually the one to do it and not Robinson. But they actually talked about the breakdown of how much DNA belonged to who on these 2 items. On the towel, only 5% of the DNA found belonged to Twiggs. And on the screwdriver handle, only 11%. So that is a very small amount comparatively. So, I mean, in Twigs with the towel, it could have, you can't say what actions actually put the DNA there. But I mean, with the towel, he could have folded it or pulled it out, been the one to pull it out of the laundry, right? On the screwdriver handle, I mean, he had to screw something in at some point, and he used it a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Who knows?
There's a joke in there somewhere.
The towel.
It's
so,
like let's not hang on. You keep reading your damn notes. People.
I'm done with day 2, and I was going to pause. That was going to be my pausing point.
That's a lot of information. Anybody want to talk about any of that?
DNA and towel, that could be anything. I don't want to know.
Me either. I hope it's skin cell DNA is all I have to say.
I think they said it was most of the DNA that they processed was touch DNA and saliva.
I think it was in-cell DNA.
Can I pipe in just a little bit here when it comes to, DNA and the percentages and things like that?
Sure.
It really depends, because when you talk about touch DNA, and granted, I'm no crime scene expert, I'm no evidence process expert, I'm just talking from, a street level cop perspective and how crime scenes are processed and evidence is collected. Again, I'm no expert, but contact DNA is simply shredded skin cells on the surface of an object. Doesn't matter what it is, it's just simply what we touch, we leave our DNA, plain and simple. Now, how they would come about those percentages, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm not even going to attempt to feed you false information. The only thing I can imagine is, for example, just like y'all brought up, if I'm folding, let's say we're a couple, and that day I'm tasked with folding laundry. I take everything out, fold everything, put it up where it's supposed to be. Clean towel, you grab it, you take it, and you do something else with it. No nefarious intent, but my DNA is still on that towel because I've simply touched it. Now, for them to say X percentage, that would seem to reason with the layperson or the common everyday person that, hey, maybe I took that out of the dryer, I folded the towel, you grabbed it and went and did whatever you did with it. That would make sense to the layperson. So that's my 2 cents, if that makes any sense to the general public about what may have possibly happened.
Yeah. DNA bores me.
Yeah, I took it kind of similar to you. I took it that of the DNA, all the DNA collected on that towel, or whatever, the screwdriver even, like 89 to 95% of it, of that DNA found was Tyler's versus the other percentage was Lance's. That's kind
Which,
of
the way that I look at it is this: if you're my other half, you take the laundry out of the dryer, you fold all the towels, I get up, I go to work. As a police officer, I use a sweat towel in my vehicle for when I get out in hot weather. I got to wipe my face, got to wipe my head. I need just general sweat towels. So before I leave the house for that shift, I'll grab a dish towel or a sweat towel that I call it, and I'll take it to work that day. I'll use it throughout the day and I'll come home. Well, most of the DNA on that towel is going to be mine, but there will be a little bit of my other half's DNA because they touched it before I grabbed it and took it to work. So, I mean, that's reasonably plausible. And it's not an aha, gotcha, but it does offer a little bit of an explanation as to why the results were what they are.
Absolutely,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, but the results were pretty damning in the first place. So.
Oh, absolutely. And just the same as they found his DNA on the trigger. Again, when you pull a trigger of a firearm, you have the ridges on your finger that are crossing the grooves on the trigger. They are going to deposit contact DNA on the face of the trigger. That's pretty damning.
Yeah, they
You know
haven't
what the
gotten to that
dumbest
yet.
shit about all this is? You know what the dumbest shit about all this is? Like, why would you bring a towel from your house first?
Well, Sippy,
Why in the
they
fuck
don't.
aren't you
They
wearing
don't.
gloves?
They don't think like we do. And believe it or not, there's a little bit of a aha moment here. A lot of people don't realize, and this is something we go through in like crime scene and evidence collection, DNA testing, things of that nature. And it became big during COVID. And it was a point that I brought up. Everybody changes masks, changes gloves, the whole 9 yards. When you put on gloves, have you touched the outside of that glove?
Probably.
Okay. So therefore, your DNA is therefore transferable into your sanitary crime scene or your sanitary whatever. It's the whole principle of, and I know sounds stupid to people, but you wash your hands with soap and water, leaving a restroom, what's the last thing you touch before you walk out?
Door handle.
If
The
you touch
door
the
handle.
door, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to use the little foot pedal and everything.
If they don't
Okay,
have a
well,
foot pedal, use a
no,
paper
but-
towel.
Well, here's the thing: foot pedals aren't always there, and there's a ton of people that go into bathroom and all they do is rinse their hands with water, no soap, no nothing.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: you touch the faucet handle, everybody's touched that. You touch the door handle, everybody's touched that. There is nothing sanitary. The only thing that is even close to sanitary is an operating room. And why is that? It's because surgeons, nurses, and assistants all scrub with iodine. And who touches their hands? Who touches their gloves? Another person who is also sterile. Nothing touches anything. The whole point about being sterile is you never cross contaminate, meaning if you're wearing a mask and if you're wearing gloves to avoid COVID, the minute you touch one thing, that glove is compromised. You have to sanitarily dispose of it and then sanitarily don a new one. It's almost impossible. So, this whole environment about being sanitary and avoiding the transfer of germs, it's a fallacy. There are certain things you can do that make a little bit of common sense that might help, but at some point, everything is compromised. There is no such thing as sanitation unless you're in an operating room environment. It's just patently false because the moment you touch something that's compromised with any glove, you should properly discard it and don a new one. But most people don't. They just put on gloves and go on about their daily business, still cross contaminating everything they touch and everything they come in contact with. So I just think that is a large falsity in what we think is safe or sanitizing a crime scene or preserving evidence. When you go to collect DNA evidence, when you go to transfer that stuff, technically in crime scene investigation, you're literally supposed to change gloves with every single DNA sample that you take from a crime scene. So if I'm investigating let's say a home robbery where unfortunately there's been a homicide, every single DNA sample I take from inside that home or the premises, I should be wearing a new pair of gloves with every single swab that I do.
They weren't questioning like handling of evidence at all, though, were they?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
They beat up on chain of custody a little bit, but it
Yeah.
was they dropped that pretty quick when they found out that everything was like very airtight.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey.
And my big complaint was, and I'm sorry, Sippy, but my big complaint was when that one expert was annotating and narrating the video of Ding Dong arriving on scene, limping down the stairs and going back up the stairs. I was flabbergasted that he did not draw specific attention to the fact he was going out of his way to fail to bend his leg at the right knee. And when he walked up the stairs, he led with his left foot and he drug his right foot up to meet it. He never led with his right foot. And if I'm trying to make the argument that, hey, my dude's hiding a rifle in the leg of his right pant, I'm going to make an extreme effort to point out, look, he's not bending his right leg. He's dragging it for a purpose. And when he climbs stairs, he leads with his left, meets with the right. He's basically dragging his right leg.
They
I
did
couldn't.
bring that up.
I think
They
something
brought
like
that up.
that would probably be brought out at trial, right?
No, they brought that up. They brought that
Oh,
up
did they?
They did.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. later
I
on.
did.
But yeah,
I
they
did.
brought it
I
up.
didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Yep, they did bring it up.
I mean,
Unfortunately, I've had to listen to all of this.
I mean, at the end of the day, they have to prove probable cause, right? And I think that like you've got the DNA evidence, the confession, whatever, like his mom identifying him or whatever it was, him confessing. There's like several main pillars that they have to stand on already, you know. So honestly, what's slowing it down so much is the constant objections by the defense. But if they weren't doing that, they wouldn't be doing their jobs.
Yeah, and that's a tactic because, like I said, one of my childhood friends is a very wealthy defense attorney, and we don't get along very well. But I understand his job, and as a defense attorney, that's what I would do. Even if I didn't have much of a foundation, I would still want to get it on record to basically cause a little bit of confusion, even if they sustain or if they don't. I would simply want to cause as much of a hiccup as I possibly could. And I think that's the defense's tactics, is because they know that their only hope is to try and sow confusion at this point.
Possibly. Yep. Hey, anybody?
Let's
anything
move
else?
away from DNA because I can't stand
Yep.
it.
Anybody else have any other questions about day two
Day two. Questions, concerns?
before I go to day three?
Well, let me ask real quick. Give me the gist of day two. What was?
Well, that's what she just went through. That's what she just read all her
It
notes
was
on.
pretty
day two.
long.
Yeah, it was very long. Yeah.
All right, gist. Okay, let me gist this. Okay,
Oh.
video compilation.
Sorry, Sippy.
DNA on screwdriver and towel. Twiggs and Robinson are the only two male contributors, the only contributors on those. 5% of Twigs on the towel, 11% of Twigs on the screwdriver. Defense essentially filibustered all the time with that witness so that the prosecution got barely any. Haha. There's the gist.
Well, I think we've covered that. I agree with you, Sippy. Let's go to day three.
Yeah, day three.
Oh my
Which
gosh.
was also extremely fucking boring.
Day one was really boring. Day two was more interesting because of all the, the actual evidence that they were talking about. But day three, I could have taken a nap. So the judge started with a check-in. How many witnesses have you got left? Are we gonna be able to finish by the end of Friday? Blah blah blah. I don't remember exactly how many the witness said, or the prosecution said they had left, but the defense said they had 2 remaining witnesses, both from the ATF. And then they did have Brian Davis on the stand for a little while, and he's a special agent with Utah SBI, State Bureau of Investigations. He interviewed Tyler Robinson's mother with FBI agent Folger, like the coffee. And that interview was held simultaneously. By simultaneously, I mean at the same time, not in the same place, as interviews with Tyler Robinson's father and their family friend, Mike Mitchell. Mike Mitchell is the one that helped facilitate Tyler Robinson turning himself in. Tyler Robinson was he was in custody at that point during those interviews, and he was formally arrested at around 4 a.m. on September 12th. They did show like a little video of Tyler Robinson in an interview room alone with no audio. And then they talked a little bit more about the interview with Wiggs from the interview in April, I believe. I believe they're talking about the April one. But he was interviewed twice, once at the end of September and once in April. Twiggs voluntarily gave his phone to be looked at. They did not have to get a warrant or anything like that. He gave it willingly. During his interviews, he was given limited immunity and use immunity. So things said during the interview they could not like charge him for something. but anything outside of the interviews they still could. And so then that's when the arguing over this, another 1102, except this time it's video, not written. And they spent the entire rest of the day arguing about this video and the transcript. So
Yes, they did.
um,
Yes, they did.
a 20-minute recess ended up turning into an hour-long recess.
Yep.
Before they finally came back. It does end up that the judge was viewing the video and comparing it with the transcript and everything, and that's why things were delayed. So what this video is an interview between Davis and Twiggs. So what's going to end up happening is this video is a little over half an hour long. I think it's about 35 minutes, 35 minutes. But about 15 minutes is going to have to be redacted out of it. So it's 1 minute towards the end and like 14 minutes kind of like at like the 6
And now
7 minute mark.
That's redacted from the public, not from the judge.
Correct. Right. Yes.
So
that is
an important
distinction.
It's just not like going to be.
Public. Yeah, it's not going to be given to the public. But that brings me to something that I would like to share. I'm going to put it in the jumbo. So if you would like to watch it, it's only a minute long. I'm going to play it for the stream. So if you guys just want to take a minute and watch that, it's up in the jumbo. And then I'm going to play it for the stream.
You're not going to run it through the...
No, because I'll end up fucking it up. So this is a statement from the lawyer representing the Kirk family, Jeffrey Nyman.
All right. Counsel, if you would like to state your name.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Nyman on behalf of the Kirk family. I've been very hesitant to speak up at these proceedings. We understand it's the state, the defense, and the judge. You're all doing your job. But I feel as if we need to. I want to be clear as to what the Kirk family's position is on all of this. The Kirk family believes strongly that if the evidence is being admitted in this preliminary hearing, it should be made public for the world to see. No redactions. This court has tools at its tools at its disposal to make sure the defendant receives a fair trial. You'll use them if you find that you need to. That's it, Your Honor. To not be transparent here, to not be open, to not let the world see what happened will create doubt and distrust in the judicial system. And that's not what anybody wants. That's not what any of us believe should happen here. And we'd ask the court to consider the position of the family in making its ultimate decision.
Thank you.
Okay. So that was just like the 1 minute statement from Jeffrey Nyman representing the Kirk family. I really just like wanting everything to be as public as possible. It's really what they want. Not infringing on anyone's constitutional rights, but everything that can be public should be public. So that's kind of what that was all about. So because the prosecution has to now cut chunks of this video out, it shouldn't take them long. I mean, it's just 2 chunks. I could do that in 5. But
they said it was going to take a couple hours.
They had the timestamps were given to them. How could it possibly take a couple hours? It's not like multiple little tiny chunks all over. It is literally one big chunk and one small chunk.
Yep, because government work.
That's retarded.
I also thought it was interesting today how the judge or the defense also, like in their objection, moved to have a second closed hearing for that video. And then I realized that there were like the poor judge. I mean, he's dealing with the prosecution trying to make their case, the defense objecting at every bend and turn, and then he's got the media lawyer also stepping in to state the case for the media, seeing things, and then now he's got the Kirk family, which they have every right to have legal representation there. I was glad that he stood up and said something. I really felt his statement in my soul when he got up there and said that. But ultimately, all they did was delay. We're still going to see the video, albeit slightly redacted, tomorrow. So
yeah. So that's kind of how the day ended with okay, well, now we have to take this exhibit. It's exhibit 16. We have to cut these 2 chunks out, send a copy to the defense, and then a court memo to the judge. And so they ended up ending about 15, 20 minutes early today, even after it being a late start, because they do late start on Wednesdays. So now it's.
I didn't get that. That was strange.
The judge, I read about why it was delayed today. It was because Judge Graff had other cases on his docket that were time sensitive, apparently, that for like, I guess, court proceeding reasons, like could not be delayed. That, timely.
That makes sense.
Timeliness. So
it wasn't that he was out playing a round of golf.
Right.
But yeah,
That
so
we knew of.
yeah, it could have been a round of golf instead of a court case, maybe. But that's really it for the first 3 days. There's still text and group chat evidence that's coming in.
Group
Hopefully
chat
tomorrow.
meaning Discord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Discord
Discord.
messages.
Yeah. And the defense was already saying today, they're like, we're going to object to all of that too, but we'll get to that. The judge is kind of like rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't really roll his eyes, but he was kind of like, yes, I know.
You could tell, he
Yeah.
he was getting so frustrated. But yeah, so those will come into evidence. They want some stuff like 4 images redacted from the text messages or something. They want the defense does that, but they're not allowed to formally request that until the evidence is actually introduced. They're not allowed to preemptively object to anything or make requests like that, apparently. So yeah, that's.
Can we do? Let's do this. Let's go through every lie that Candace told that's been debunked so far.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh,
We only
yeah.
have another hour and 15 minutes.
All night.
Yeah, we need to add time.
Yeah.
Remember, Tyler's height.
I'll go quick. So, her saying Lance Twiggs was never questioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. So, her saying that Tyler Robinson was not actually on that campus.
4 times.
He was on the campus 4 times. Oh, let's see. What's another one? Come on, help me out.
Exploding Mike, because today in a tweet she actually like wrote out in a tweet when when Charlie was shot and everybody's freaking out and like, oh, so now you're just throwing your exploding Mike theory out the window. How quickly that happened. Like she's not even acknowledging that.
That's because
out the window.
That's because on day 1 they went over the autopsy.
Yep, we forgot about that part.
Right? And and they said that the cause of death was a bullet.
Yeah.
Well,
first they said murder.
Didn't she say at some point that Tyler Robinson was the distraction for the Jew assassin that was dragged out of the crowd or something like that?
The Egyptian Jewish assassin or some shit like that. I don't know.
Egyptian
I don't remember exactly
Jewish?
What about the bees? I thought it was the bees.
She said some crazy shit.
Well, we still have the army of men in maroon shirts to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
She brought that lunatic that was first dragged out of the crowd from up front, and they said he was a Jewish plant. He'd been overseas, and Candace took off running with that for a while.
I think
apparently she also claimed that he was shot from a trap door below.
Uh-huh.
Well,
I can't remember if it was day 1 or day 2, but at one point they said, I think whenever they were going over the video evidence of Robinson being on campus, whatever day that was, the officer mentioned that in the video he quote makes contact with somebody from Turning Point USA. So then she ran wild with that. Who did he talk to? What did they say? Blah blah blah.
Well, let me tell y'all something, and I'll be the first to admit that I was wrong, and I will do it publicly right here. I'm sure it's being recorded. I'm happy to admit that I was wrong. I am a lifelong hunter. My dad was in the military and a police officer before I was born. I have been hunting with a 30-06 for most of my adult life, and I'm 46 years old. I will plainly tell you, I did not buy this at first. When I watched the video, I reviewed it, I watched it over and over and over. And I have taken countless large game animals throughout my life with a 30-06. The one thing that I did not take into account was different bullet grains in that caliber. And what that means is the actual weight of the projectile that is fired and how it reacts.
Matt Tardio has a ridiculously good thread that he's, well, not even thread. He's just been refuting the 30-06 should decapitate somebody claims for like the last 3 days. They are incredibly accurate on like all of the variables that come into play, down to, like you said, bullet grain, age of the rifle, like all of the, you know, windage and everything else that was going on that day. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm telling you, I've taken multiple large game animals with an .06. I have seen that round go through both shoulder blades, the entire body. But what I did not take into account was the angle of the shot and the possible design. Because if you know anything about 30-06 projectiles, there's multiple different grain weights and there's multiple different bullet designs. I was remiss in the fact that I did not consider all of this. And I heard Charlie Kirk's personal bodyguard describe the exact path of the projectile, how it hit him, where it went, and what damage it did. And I, as a doubter, was absolutely incorrect. I was wrong. And it is perfectly reasonable. And I truly believe that, yes, it was a single shot from a 30-06 from an elevated position at an off angle shot that ricocheted off of his spinal vertebrae and went down into his chest cavity.
Yeah, and you have to think about, like, with the cervical spine is actually, like, it's some of the strongest bones in your body.
Oh, I know. Mine got damaged at 75 miles an hour in a motorcycle accident a few years ago. But I doubted it. I spit out that it was bullshit, and I was wrong. And I'm the first to admit.
I also want to say that MLK was also shot with a 30-06, and he did not have an exit wound.
At half the distance, mind you. You can, if you want to fight people on the 30-06 stuff before the actual trial happens and they show all of the stuff. If you want to look like a genius, just look at the Army Air Corps, and U.S. Air Force World War II ammunition studies that they did, like post conflict, and how many wounds they pulled 30-06 ammunition out of people from during that war. There are countless examples of that round not only not decapitating somebody, but not having an exit from significantly closer ranges.
Yeah, the 7.62 by 6.3 and the M1 Grand was actually a slightly moderated, toned down version of the actual .06 round. But yeah, you're correct, and something that I've learned in studying shootings with handgun rounds as a police officer, and even 5.56 and 2.23, you can never duplicate a human shooting with the same caliber, same bullet, same round, because soft tissue and bone do different things to different bullets every single time. You're never going to have the exact same result.
Well, and my dude was also just coming off of an argument. Adrenaline has a marked effect on muscle density while it's coursing through your body. Everybody knows how passionate he got when he was arguing with people. So that's just another of the countless variables that you have to take into when you're trying to quote unquote recreate this.
And here's the deal. I honestly think that Ding Ding, he was going for a solid headshot. I just simply think he lacked the skill to place it properly. And God forgive me for saying this, but I think he just missed and got lucky with where he hit. I think he was going for a true headshot.
I've heard both sides of that. Yeah, going for a chest and pulled the trigger and raised the barrel just a little bit rather than squeezing, going for a headshot and having it not zeroed correctly. There's all kinds of stuff.
Well, if you think about it, look at it from an elevated position. If you're going from a headshot, Charlie's facing him and he is at Charlie's probably, I would say 11:30, maybe 11:15 raised elevated position. So he's coming down at a very, very slight angle. So if you think about from the shooter's position, crosshairs on forehead or crosshairs between the eyes, the slightest trigger jerk could have brought it down low and right, just the slightest off balance to have delivered that shot slightly low, slightly right, that would have been in the left throat impact area to impact his C-spine. I don't know how much sense that makes to shooters, but if you're looking at it from a reverse perspective, if he's got crosshairs, center forehead or just between the eyes, and he just ever so slightly pulls that trigger incorrectly, that would cause a drag low right to just drop the shot those couple of inches.
Breaking in real quick. Sorry. Apparently there has been an impact of an Iranian missile in Bahrain. Reports suggest that the strike occurred near the U.S. Fifth Fleet headquarters. That was 26 seconds ago.
Well, shit.
Yeah, we've been bombing the shit out of Iran today.
I don't know why we don't just fucking glass parking lot that motherfucker. Like, just get it over with.
That's where I'm at. I'm
I
done.
think I'm ready to at this point.
I bought all my snacks.
Sharing,
I bought a bunch of snacks for Power Plant and Bridge Day a while back and was really disappointed that got called off.
in Discord. Jinx.
Okay. Just pull it directly up.
I think it might be coming now.
Better be. Oh, Trump's tired of it, as we said today. It's like talking's over.
And
I did see Trump said earlier, like, apparently Iran has called him since they, like, dropped a bunch of bombs today. And he was like, yeah, I don't trust it. Basically said, I don't trust that they can make a deal now. They can't be trusted.
Correct.
But obviously, they couldn't be trusted in the first fucking place. We kept telling him that.
I think what he's done is the diplomatic play, knowing it would never play out, but just to show on paper that he's given them every chance before he just goes in and turns it into a parking lot, which I'm hoping is the case, but I'm not the president. I'm no defense expert. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, like, I don't know why we didn't just fucking
you're
while they were down.
And Sippy, you're a boots on the ground combat guy. I'm not. I just, my unit didn't get involved in that, and I got out before it got real bad. But I think that the whole 60-day congressional window, the president can authorize strikes, and I'm using planes, drones, naval bombardment, all that. But if we put boots on the ground, when that 60-day window comes out, then you got to think about withdrawing all the boots on the ground. Whereas if you only use air power and naval power, you can push the pause button and cease everything within minutes. And I think that's the reason we have never gone boots on the ground, is because he can't pull them back and still meet that 60-day window. Whereas with what he's doing now, he can just say, all right, cease everything, but he can slingshot it back at any time. Does that compute?
Makes
That's a
sense.
smart way to go about it too.
Yeah, because he does not need congressional approval to retaliate.
Until a 60-day window exists. And that's why I think he ceased everything at day 59 or 60 the last time. Because he can say, hey, look, I met your pause. Now the clock is reset. So if I re-engage, the 60-day clock has to start over.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean they're kind of the ones that broke the deal, right?
Oh
At
yeah.
least that's what we're being told.
Well, yeah, but regardless of what they do, when it comes to the use of our military, if the president says, I have called a ceasefire, what they do doesn't matter. His actions of ceasing military activity resets the 60-day clock for congressional approval on our end.
Yeah, here's what it is. All right, what else we got? We got the fucking fat bitch.
Planter talked out.
How dare you talk to me like that?
The fat bitch.
Yeah, let me pull it
I
up.
can't not believe got off that easy.
All right, I'm throwing this up in the jumbo.
Backdoor Dugan.
Yep. Wisconsin judge Hannah
Backdoor
Dugan is
Dugan.
avoiding prison time with a $5,000 fine after being convicted of felony obstruction for helping a Mexican migrant evade ICE agents inside a Milwaukee courthouse.
What absolute bullshit.
Yeah, so federal prosecutors
$5,000 fine.
Federal prosecutors argued Dugan violated her judicial oath, but the judge ruled prison wasn't necessary, pointing to her decades of public service and otherwise law-abiding life.
Did she at least lose her job?
Oh yeah, she's been disbarred.
Thank God.
But she's trying to overturn her conviction.
She's trying to appeal it,
so she can return to the bench.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $5,000 fine. That's it. Fucking ridiculous.
$5,000 fine for a fucking felony.
Wait, she's really trying to overturn it and return to the bench?
Yeah. Well, the return to the bench is a guess, but she's trying to overturn the felony conviction,
which would entail her a return to the bench.
Yeah.
God almighty.
I know. Yeah.
How much you want to bet she wins it too?
Depending on the venue, it's entirely possible.
Did she get a stiffer sentence?
Well, here's the thing. So the judge who presided over her trial and sentencing is U.S. District Judge Lynn Adelman, appointed by Clinton in 1997.
Good God.
Gee, what a surprise.
Were these federal or state charges?
Federal.
Why it was? I've really lost all faith in I've lost all faith in judges, federal, state, whatever, these days. Honestly, watching the Tyler Robinson trial and seeing Judge Graff act with such dignity and patience has restored it a little bit for the most part.
Yeah, and the federal sentencing guidelines suggest 15 to 21 months for this, by the way.
And Sippy, let me ask you something. One of the things that really caught my eye was when, and forgive me for not knowing his name, the judge watched the actual shooting video.
Judge Graff.
Yeah, Judge Graff. He physically recoiled when the shot was fired.
Yeah.
My question is, with the publicity of it and everything, did he really only witness that for the first time at that moment?
I'm assuming he probably didn't watch the, you know, there's a lot of people that didn't watch that video.
I to this day have never seen the video of Charlie Kirk getting shot. I refuse to watch it. If it ever comes across my feed, I scroll.
I've seen it. It's
Like,
haunting.
it is haunting, and I watched it over and over to make sure it wasn't AI. Yeah.
Me too. And it's very, yep. I wish I never did that.
Yep.
I'm with y'all. Having been involved in shootings and dealt with these things, I hate to say this and I don't want to sound morbid, but I wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch every angle to make sure that what I was seeing was correct. And I'm scarred from it, and excuse me, I will be for the rest of my life.
That's
But
exactly the reason I haven't watched it.
but
Yeah, don't ever.
I wanted to make sure that what I saw was correct, because if I'm going to offer an opinion on it as a law enforcement officer, as someone who's been involved in shootings, I want to know everything I can, because I want to debunk BS from a real life experience perspective. And I'll tell you, when I watched the face of that judge recoil, physically recoil just from watching the video, I thought, you know what? We just might see true justice done in this case, because the judge presiding over probable cause of the trial just saw the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I hate that I ever saw it.
Yeah, the first video that came
Yeah.
out, you couldn't really tell. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
You couldn't see the actual impact of it. Because it was
Well,
off from the side. But once that
And some,
front view
Well, it's 'cause they
came
pulled
out,
at the last second. They pulled at the last second. That's why you couldn't see
yeah.
couldn't see it on that one first one.
someone sent me the very clear one pretty quick. I don't remember who it was, but I just remember running in the bathroom at work and getting on my knees and praying because I knew that was not going to be good.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
knew. But yeah, I wish I never saw it. And I wish I also didn't investigate it 1,000 times just to see because
I
of all
know.
the, you know.
All the stupid ass AI shit.
Yep.
There have definitely been people out there who have Candace fans who have watched it in slow motion on repeat, and I think it's like really fucked with their minds. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Well,
and that microphone too, that was the thing, like, I kept going
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
that
did that
stupid
too, I was
microphone.
yep, I kept going back and forth, slow
Oh, I forgot
motion.
you're like an expert on the Candace theories. We were going through the debunking of Candace.
My sister de-sistered me today because I debunked something and she was like, "You're not my sister, you're Erica Kirk's bestie," and I'm like, "What is going on?"
Okay.
I mean,
She's
that would
lost her
probably be kind
mind.
of cool.
surprised she
wouldn't
didn't
it?
accuse you of being a Zionist or Jewish or whatever.
She's so mad at me.
Zionist.
She disowned me. She literally was like, "You're Erica's best friend," and I said to my husband, I'm like, "Do I ever mention Erica, like, ever?" He's like, "No." I said, "Well, my sister disowned me today because I debunked her."
Anyways, so we went over quite a few of them. You got any fancy ones? Fancy Candace things that Candace
me?
fans believe? Yeah.
I call them the Candace cult.
I don't have any names. I
pretty
just think they're
accurate.
insane. They piss me off, honestly.
Not names. I'm talking about the conspiracy theorists or the theories themselves.
That have been debunked by the
first 3
hearings.
days.
Yeah, this is what I debunked with my sister. She was told she heard. I don't know if it was from Candace. This might be, I don't know. She just said that Erica was not allowed in the courtroom and that her
I don't know
parents
what the
made
what?
it sure that she was not going to be there. That's what I debunked this morning.
That's a lie.
Oh, that's easy.
That's why she's not my sister
Did
anymore.
Did you just show her a video of them sitting together?
Nope, just simply texted her and told her, and I was accused of being Erica's bestie. That's what happened. And I don't know where it came from though. She just kind of texted it to me one day and she's like, "So Erica Kirk isn't allowed in the courtroom. She might have gotten it from Candace. I don't know. I don't listen to Candace. She's crazy.
Of all the things that people that aren't in the candy cult call people, being called Erica's bestie seems like a compliment almost compared to what some other people get.
Those were the nicer
tell,
words before it
dude,
ended.
you can tell Candace is way too like straight up narcissistic. You know how many people she follows?
I mean, look at her interview with
129, literally 129.
Yeah.
Thanks for the guesses, guys. Appreciate the guesses.
You're welcome.
I think it wasn't too many. Same with Tucker, well, like 3
How
counts.
does she have 7.8 million followers though?
Bots.
It's gotta be.
Probably.
I think a lot of bots probably, but unfortunately I do also think that there's that many crazy people out there. I mean, you've got
I was gonna say mass psychosis. Yeah, mass psychosis is a real thing.
You've got
she's got
like
Democrats following her now too, so
yeah, the categories of people that follow her, it's like there's a big category of people who want to grift off of her grift, right? They want extra followers. They want to try and monetize their account. So if they engage with her stuff and whatever, they get more followers or monetize, etc. Then you've got the people who are just like, I don't know, stay-at-home SSRI wine moms that are literally just bored and mean girls, haven't moved on from high school, torturing a widow. And then you've got like the leftists, like you said, leftist people who genuinely hated Charlie Kirk and are going to jump on any reason to defame his, legacy and dehumanize his widow.
Yep.
Ooh.
It is interesting to see them like in real time alongside the preliminary hearing as like actual evidence that's being presented in court, which they wouldn't know evidence that slapped them in the face. They don't want to hear facts, but like watching them like still tell their own narratives alongside that are opposite of what's being presented in court.
All right, so I have Candace blocked, so I have to actually like search her out. You want it?
Yeah, I'm going through her shit right now.
Her post, her most recent post.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this for you guys. Because as I demonstrated on my show, there were many young men that all woke up and decided to dress in maroon shirts and light shorts on the day of Charlie's assassination. Footage can be any one of these young men, and in my opinion is likely multiple of them. If Tyler Robinson's defense would like to contact me, I'd be happy to supply them the folder of the maroon boys that I began archiving when I noticed the bizarre fashion trend. I have thus so far ID'd 2 of them, but will focus on IDing the rest of them when I am back on air. I have maintained that the feds had multiple decoy maroon boys on the ground that day. Without a clear image, they certainly cannot declare it as Tyler Robinson, which is why all the Zionist influencers are hoping they can simply hypnotize the public into trusting blurry images and videos. For such a quote-unquote open and shut case, they have thus far provided 0 evidence of anything outside of a criminal government conspiracy, the likes of which hasn't been seen since the JFK assassination.
She's dumb as fuck.
You want to see something?
Throw in a Zionist insult somewhere. It's impressive.
You want to see something funny? Sippy, you have the stuff on stream, correct?
No, that's Jinx.
Oh, that's Jinx. Jinx, pull up mtec.edu.
MTC.
This is
edu.
mtec.edu.
Mike Tango Echo Charlie.
She doesn't know phonetics. Come on. But if anybody's not watching the stream, go to that website. This school, by the way, is across the street from UVU, and just take a look at what their primary color is on all of their branding, by the way.
Also, like, based on that post, Jinx, like, is she seriously out there doxing random boys in maroon shirts? Like, what a psycho.
She didn't dox them. She says she has their identification.
Oh, okay, so she's just, personally identifying. What a creep.
Yeah. So the place across the street for the people not watching the stream is literally damn near maroon. It's basically maroon.
Their school colors are maroon and gold, by the way. And it was the dang end of summer, so of course all of them are going to be in shorts.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. There's another Fed placed maroon shirt boys is another lie for you that no, of course no. They walked 180 yards to go and watch Charlie Kirk talk from their school that they were wearing the school colors of.
Perfect sense.
I'm cracking up that she even said, like, if the defense wants to contact me. Are you crazy? Like, seriously?
Yeah, so she's straight up ready to help the defense. That's crazy.
I hope they take her up on it. I hope they make themselves look like absolute morons and bring in the largest poison pill I have ever seen created.
That'd be awesome.
But here's the funny thing. I think she's enough Looney Tune to say that the whole reason he lost was because his defense team didn't contact me. I could have saved him, but they never asked me.
Yeah, she will. That'll be exactly what she says. She'll discount everything and say it was all Fed placed and she could have disproved it. All they had to do was contact me. They killed this boy, blah, blah, blah.
I really do think that's the end game that she's going for.
Whoever said cult leader earlier, or like cult, like the candy cult.
Yeah, Candy's cult.
So spot on. Like the way that she speaks, it is so typical of like a cult leader to, I'm the only one that knows the truth. You can't listen to anybody else. Only I have the truth. I know this might be weird, but like, I don't know why, but cult documentaries fascinate me.
Yeah. Anybody old enough to remember David Koresh?
No. I don't want to join a cult, for the record. I just think like the psychology of cults and leaders are like fascinating to me.
And yes, Branch Davidians, yes.
Yeah, the way that she speaks is exactly reminiscent of the way David Koresh spoke.
Spell Koresh.
I really want y'all to hear this one. This one is fucking epic. It's from yesterday.
Koresh.
So he could bend his leg. This is somebody, Baron Coleman. So he could bend his leg. He just didn't bend it most of the time for some unknown reason. Got it. And then Candace quote posted and said, he literally just forgot not to bend his leg, LOL. And we're supposed to imagine there's a fully assembled rifle in the bent leg.
Baron Coleman is the booger eater. There's literally a video of him eating his boogers on his podcast. No lie.
My favorite is where they bounce the two videos together, and one of them is a mirrored video because it's a mirrored security camera. And they're like, oh, well, he's not bending his right leg. Now he's not bending his left leg. He forgot which one, blah, blah. Guys, do you know what mirrored lenses do?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Anything to not believe the evidence, the facts presented in front of you, right? Just.
They drive me insane with their stupidity.
Yep.
It's like being back in the E4 Mafia with a bunch of E3s or E2s.
E4 Mafia.
Who was that?
Yeah, Professor.
Is that Popeye? Southern, you got a question I responded to you with?
What?
Who do we side with in the divorce FFA family? You already know what post is due.
What divorce?
Boss lady is owning us. I already know the answer.
You know who I'm picking.
Yeah, I know that. I know. Yeah.
Don't worry, Sippy. We still have truth.
Yep.
I feel like we lost in the gender wars. I feel like we lost in the gender wars. That's 2 out of 3.
Remember, I'm a loose cannon and a liability. Remember that.
Yeah. I heard that.
You are retarded, but.
That is true.
All right. We have more stuff. Can we talk about Mitch McConnell? Oh, go ahead, Truth. What do we want to say?
That fake motherfucker is an idiot.
All right. Let's talk about Mitch McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
So
Weekend at Bernie's too.
Scott Jennings said that
I hear he's fine.
Ready to vote.
So
Yeah.
Scott Jennings said he talked to him yesterday for just shy of 20 minutes about Iran, Ukraine, and the unfolding situation in Maine, and his Scott Jennings' visit to the TR Presidential Library, and even a little bit of Senate history. Told him I want to see him back at work as soon as possible. Hey. So.
Sure, Jan.
I swear this has to be satire at this point. But Scott Jennings has quite a history with Mitch McConnell. So, is he, like, apparently, like, he sent this around the time Alan Chow got back from China? So, is there a connection there? I don't know.
President Trump was asked today about Mitch McConnell. Have you spoken to him, or do you know how he's doing? And he said, "I have no idea how he's doing."
Yeah, and then Republican Congressman Brett Guthrie from Kentucky 2nd District said that he has texted with Senator McConnell but has not spoken with him on the phone.
Anybody can text from someone's phone.
Right.
And McConnell couldn't even stand up straight, let alone utter a sentence or make his thumbs move. So I don't believe it.
Right.
And
Well,
my personal theory at the moment is they got a really good voice impersonator. So
you could just do it with
somebody's talking, and I'm just waiting for the body double to show up. So
yeah, they can.
That's my thoughts.
You can just use AI to change your voice.
Well, that's why his wife went to China, right? I'm starting a conspiracy theory.
The body double.
She went to go pick up the body double.
Can someone
That
explain
was
to me?
my
What's
thought. I was like, that's where they got it stashed.
Well,
Who wants to
here's
talk
my
about
thing. How long have him and his wife been married? It hadn't been very long, maybe 13, 15, 18 years.
Pretty fucking long.
Yeah, it's a long time. But
Well, here's my thing. Regardless of how long they've been married,
33 years, by the way.
Yeah, they got married.
well,
They got married in 1993.
Okay, thank you for that. So
Extremely
they've
long.
been together for 33 years. However, he has been in Congress or senator or whatever nursing home capacity for 40 something years. So in theory, his wife has had access to all of the documents, all of his interactions for the entire, let's just say 40 years for argument's sake.
Well, that's how long he's been a weasel.
Exactly. So here's the thing. He gets taken into medical custody for a medical emergency and taken for emergency medical treatment at a hospital. She hops on a plane and disappears. How do we know what, if any, or to what extent 40 something years of sensitive documents to do with our Senate and our government did not just disappear with her to China?
When
It's
she went
been
to
disappearing
spend time
his
with the vice
whole
president of China.
entire time in Congress. That's why we've had leaks here and leaks there, and this gets sent to China. It's his whole entire time in Congress has
Yes,
been
ma'am.
nothing but crap. I mean, okay,
I agree.
I'm 60 something. I grew up in Kansas. We hated McConnell and Clinton with a passion back the whole entire since the 90s. And we didn't like Clinton at all. There's so many people based on what they did in Kentucky and Tennessee and places like that that affected Kansas and the rights that we had as farmers and things like that. So it's like he's been corrupt and on the take the whole entire time. He will say whatever he has to say in public to think, yeah, he's just a Democrat. He's just a Democrat, but he's from a red state. And so he knew by being a Democrat in a red state, he wouldn't get elected. So he's just a rhino. That's all he is. and will ever be, because he will backstab because he's a weasel. That's the nicest way I can phrase it, because I'm trying not to cuss.
You
I
can.
That
really
that
wish you guys
that
would quit picking on my word turtle. I mean, he is nothing. He's done nothing but support war. He's had time. Looks like a little turtle. Like, he's so cute. You guys need to be nice.
He's not cute. He's
Yeah,
is
I'll get right
scum
on that.
bucket material.
Can
I'll
someone
get
explain
right
to
on
me,
that.
like what's the purpose of them keeping what's the purpose of keeping his condition from us? Like, why are they not just like coming out and saying it? I guess I don't understand why not just be like, yeah, he's retiring. Like, I don't.
deep state and election cycles.
Gotcha.
Because if he doesn't, if he, it has something to do with, like, I believe it's an August 13th deadline. If he's still in there, if he's out before August 13th, they have to call a special election to end out his term. But if he's in there after August 13th, then the
August
Democratic
3rd.
governor, okay, then the Democratic governor can appoint somebody to the end of his term, and the election still goes on in November. So instead of having two elections in like 3 to 4 months, they would just go with one election. But we would have a Democrat appointed from the August deadline whenever they, when he's finally declared brain dead on August 4th, then the Democratic governor can put in whoever he wants. It doesn't have to be a Republican. And they're stuck with that guy in the Senate until the election in November.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And
It's all politics.
so so essentially if McConnell dies before August 3rd, then there's an appointment. If he dies on August 4th, there's not. The seat just stays vacant until the election.
That sure does sound like they're hiding. Anyways.
But yeah,
I mean, they're gonna hide it for a little bit. I don't know if they're gonna try and keep it closed until August, but they have to have somebody to put in place for the special election. That's almost assuredly what's happening. Is they're just playing softball until they decide who they want to put in the seat for the special election.
Maybe
instead of having chaos.
Kentucky doesn't have a great track record of electing people.
No.
Thomas Massey.
Rand Paul.
Mitch McConnell.
Well, his term ends. This is his last year.
Correct.
His term ends in 27, January 27, technically.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why they would let the seats stay.
Which is after the midterm elections, and which I think they're trying to avoid.
No, he didn't seek re-election. So he didn't seek re-election for the 2026. So they already have a Republican nominee for Senate right now.
Yep. All right. What we got now? I know we had other things.
Well, but Andy Bashir. Actually, hold on. Rand Paul's election is in 2028. When does McConnell's? Okay, yeah. So McConnell, because I just searched up Senate race, and it only brought up fucking Rand Paul. But yeah. Know who is Kentucky Senate?
Okay, it's somebody by the last name of Barr.
Bill Barr?
Andy Barr.
Andy Barr.
And he went, Andy Barr, he is currently a representative, and he won over he got 60.5% of the votes.
He's going to get called Candy Bar.
Yeah. He is a U.S. rep for the 6th Congressional District of Kentucky, member of the House Financial Services, Foreign Affairs, and Select China Committees. Interesting.
He's also was the Trump endorsed candidate to replace Bernie.
Yeah, I'm familiar with his name. I just don't know a whole lot about him. But yeah, so I mean, they've already got someone that's going to be running for the midterms, but so essentially, like, if that August 3rd deadline passes, then there's no appointment, and the seat just sits vacant. And we're better off with a vacant seat than we are with a Democrat in that seat.
But after the August deadline, if he passes, then the Democratic governor can appoint whoever he wants until the election in November. And the
Until January day
Democratic
the
guy
swearing
that
in
won was a
will actually
Charles
begin.
Booker. He only got 155,000 votes, and Andy Barr got 283,000 votes. Andy Booker is a former state rep.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay. Nope, I got this backwards. If he dies before August 3rd, Kentucky law triggers a special election. If it's after the 3rd, then it's an appointment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he dies this month, they would have to have 2 elections, one for the special election and one for November. And if he dies in August, then it would be the governor gets to appoint whoever he wants. And it's a Democratic governor. So, but I
Well,
personally
Kentucky
think
reached what
all of
they say.
McConnell's staff needs to be shut out of everything. They need to have all of their clearances revoked, everything. And they just need to, his whole entire office needs to be locked down and everything stopped. But that's just my opinion because they can't do anything because he's comatose.
Oh,
Or
that one's
dead.
funny as hell, Beach Bell.
You like
That
that?
shit's funny.
What happened?
See,
I
in the
put it in the purple
pill.
pill. Marco Rubio confirmed he's also spoken with Senator Mitch McConnell, and it's him in a Ghostbusters costume.
No, they can't appoint. As of April 2024, Kentucky the governor can no longer appoint a replacement for a vacant U.S. Senate seat.
Woohoo.
House Bill 622 repealed the statute authorizing gubernatorial appointments, making Kentucky one of only 4 states that require Senate vacancies to remain empty until filled by election.
Okay, so there's no reason for them to be hiding him.
No, there's not. But depending on how fast they could have a special election, they get in somebody that'll vote for that SAVE Act.
Well, you know,
just asking questions.
I will.
And that's the thing is that, yeah, I think McConnell's crew may be worried about them getting a special election for somebody that will help pass that SAVE Act.
I think they're worried about just trying to cover their tracks and get their funds out of the country before he's declared dead.
Possible. Apparently, Elaine Chao was already out of the country when this happened. And she had put out a statement that his health did not warrant, his current health status did not warrant a return to the U.S. But if the dude needed fucking CPR.
What a loyal, loving wife.
33 years. Oh, you're in the hospital, honey? Okay. I'm going to keep meeting with the CCP.
Yeah, I'll be there in a week.
Chest compressions. Let me know how that goes.
I get along with both my ex-husbands better than that married couple.
I want to see, when did she actually return?
Supposedly she returned like yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. So her husband's in the hospital for like 3.5 weeks, and she finally comes home.
Yeah, to say her final goodbyes.
Got to make sure she covered everything up.
Them hoes ain't loyal.
She left for the trip on June 12th. He was hospitalized on June 14th.
Oh, man. All right, what else we got?
All right. Pulling back up my bookmarks. All right. Since we were talking about the SAVE Act, let's talk about the two counter rulings. Yeah, we have Sparkle Suknanen, who the Sparkle Suknanen said that where was it? I thought I had saved it. I didn't save the original. But she basically said that the US government can't have access to the system that has the
Social Security
numbers
database.
and stuff like and at the same time, a judge in Florida, federal judge in Florida, ruled that can. So you have two states with two separate rulings, and Judge Sparkle L. Suknanen refuses to stay her ruling dismantling DHS's expansive SAVE system, leaving the agency caught between two directly conflicting federal court orders after a Florida judge ordered the same features restored.
Her name is Sparkle?
Her name is Sparkle, yes. She's not born in the US, so I would bet you that is the American name that she chose. American.
Probably.
That's in finger.
I think Jinx was just saying she was going to finger her. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, but y'all talking about my Sparkle name? That's kind of rude.
Sounds like a stripper name.
It is a stripper name.
It certainly should have been her
100% a stripper name.
destiny.
Well, hey, I got to do what I got to do to pay my bills. All right, y'all don't be mad at me. Don't be hating.
So, in Judge Kent Wetherell's his ruling, he specifically called out Suknanen.
Hold up. His name is Wetherell.
Wetherell,
he's from Florida.
Yep.
Taking all the L's with the weather. Come on now. Are we living in a simulation or what? Come on.
Wetherell and Sparkles.
So it says the parties shall file a status report 7 days from the date of this order regarding defendant's compliance with the order and the status of the proceedings in Judge Suknanen's case and or the DC Circuit. Done and ordered this 7th day of July, 2026. So he basically overruled Suknanen with his. So
aren't they both federal judges?
Mm-hmm.
How does he overrule another federal judge?
I have no idea.
Sounds like he gave him a very specific timeline on how and where to apply.
Oh, no, I completely understand why her name is Sparkle. Was born in Trinidad and Tobago.
There you go.
Did they Google like U.S. names from the 80s or something? I don't know. U.S. stripper names? Like,
got to be stripper names.
Oh, she was a clerk for Sotomayor at one point.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that explains everything.
Checks out.
Freaking checkmate.
She was nominated by Joe Biden and confirmed by the Senate in a narrow 50-48 vote.
Well, maybe that means it'll be easy to get her out.
She's only been in her seat for 18 months.
Yeah, that's the DEI. It's like, hey, if they're stupid and they're female or think they're female because they don't know what a woman is, that's who we want. That was their criteria.
Oh, young lady, it ain't got nothing to do with male or female. There's a whole bunch of morons that come in on other card checking boxes.
No,
that-
that's how we got the Supreme Court justice. It had to be female and black. That was his priority. Didn't say
yes,
anything
yes,
about
that was,
intelligence. Didn't say
no,
anything about knowing the law. Didn't say
I,
anything about knowing that her boobies mean she's a woman. That's why she got nominated.
I
Period. That's
agree.
it.
I agree because Joe Biden even said that I will only nominate a black female. I get it, but there's a lot of other DEIs that go on all over, and yeah, that was a huge screw up.
I forgot that he said.
Right. Anyways, sorry, Lan. Let's get to our good topic. You know what topic I'm talking about.
Well, hold on. We have one
You
more.
know what
We got a couple.
topic.
We got a
Which
couple
one?
more. We have a
Dude,
couple.
we ain't got time for a couple more.
Well, we need to
Know
say
how these people talk.
we need to talk about Graham Platner.
Yep.
What, raping people?
And
He stepped down.
he's withdrew from the race.
Yeah, still raping people, probably.
Because a bunch of Democrats have
Allegedly.
turned against him because apparently the Nazi tattoo wasn't
Dude,
enough. He had to
rapes
be a
people.
sexual assaulter. And it took more than one person reporting him for sexual assault.
Let's talk about him. Let's talk about him.
I mean, it just has to be brief. I just want to make sure that we're covering our bases.
So you're saying Platner planted a seed.
Yes, something like that.
Dude, it would have been perfect to segue from him raping people to the next guy that would to that other one.
It would have. I should have done this in a different order.
We'll bring it back. Ignore that we talked about him.
We didn't talk about Platner at all. Just erase it from your brain. Just scrub it out. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about more court stuff first. I should have gone here first.
Oh God. Yeah.
Trump has indicated that the U.S. is going to seek a rehearing of the Supreme Court's ruling on birthright citizenship. As he's allowed 25 days to seek a rehearing. It just requires the support of at least one justice from the majority and is rarely granted. So.
Oh, Clarence Thomas is going to support it.
He's not from the majority.
But
has to be from the majority. Yep.
Oh.
Amy Coney Barrett, Kavanaugh.
I'm not putting any of my stock on Amy Coney Barrett.
He's got a few appointments that are in the majority, so he's got a few options, right? So, Roberts is another option.
No, he ain't.
Well, I'm just saying, he just has to get one of them.
Ain't.
He just has to get one of them, just one.
Yeah. Okay. Kavanaugh.
Yeah, probably Kavanaugh because Kavanaugh didn't agree that it was a constitutional issue.
Yeah. So
he was already half-assed dissenting, but he is considered the majority too.
Yes. Okay. All right. So there's one other thing that it's just interesting. It's very short. So today, a 22-year-old flight student was forced to land her plane alone after her flight instructor organized his belongings, told her, "You know what to do. Keep moving forward," and jumped from the plane to his death.
What the fuck?
Terrible.
So she had to fly and land the plane by herself as a flight student.
That's a she?
Yes,
Where was this?
Is that the dude?
That's the pilot instructor.
The one that killed herself.
Yeah.
They said
where was that?
Crazy. Let me see if I can
What'd
find out where that was.
What'd you say, land?
They said she stayed super calm and thought for a moment, thought that maybe he was playing a joke on her.
Argentina.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, he was then found dead 20 minutes later in a field in the area with a woman marked out as the place he could have fallen. He was the director of
plot twist. She pushed him out. A twist.
Took his headphones
This is
off, arranged his belongings,
crazy.
including his mobile phone, took his seatbelt off, opened the door, which is very difficult to open, and jumped out.
Yeah, especially with all the pressure on it.
Yeah.
Did he not have a parachute?
No, he suicided
No, he
himself.
killed it.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he offed himself.
Suicided himself.
Goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So
now we're talking about Grant.
Yes, Grant Platner. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear this before.
No. Guys, breaking news. Grant Platner is no longer running for Senate in Maine.
And he's also a
withdrawn
rapist.
from the race. Yes, he's also
an accused rapist.
I am shocked.
Rapist. Yes.
Well, and her statements are pretty bad for him.
Or alleged.
She's like a raging Democrat.
Yeah.
So
that's the only reason it was taken seriously. It wasn't taken seriously on any of the other women because they were either independent or leaned right. So it's like, oh, they're biased because of his politics.
Believe all women, guys, except when they accuse a Democrat.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Didn't one of his accusers, I can't remember if it was this one or a previous one, but one of them was like said in an interview, basically said she would still vote for him and I think that he should still run, but this did happen.
Did anybody listen to his ridiculous speech?
I did not listen to it, no.
Can't listen to him talk.
They did have a lady on The View, one of the many. I just read the quote, so I didn't watch the show. But one of the quotes was basically, if I was in Maine, then I know, but I would hold my nose while I pulled the trigger or pulled the flipper or whatever to vote for him over Collins. Even though has a Nazi tattoo, even though he's disparaged the veterans, even though he's talks about rape of anybody, anywhere, all the time, even though he's on the kick thing that's known to go after underage kids, but she'd hold her nose and pull the trigger for him because, she would take him over Collins because of policy.
Okay.
No, it's because he's just as degenerate as she is. That's why.
All right. So we just revisited this so we could do this awesome transition. So first, we're talking about a guy that allegedly, rapes people and takes off condoms mid-sex and so on and so forth. Like literally goes into people's houses uninvited and just has his way with them. Those are the accusations. And now we go to man chops his penis off and burns down a house with the penis as the fire starter. Let's go.
All right. So arsonist cuts off penis, then uses it to start a blaze in neighbor's garage. So this is from the New York Post.
What dickhead.
And I'm going to actually read this to you guys, at least parts of it, because it was written so hilariously. His arson plan was a bunch of junk. A firebug in Indiana cut off his own penis, dumped gasoline on it, then used it to light a blaze inside a neighbor's garage, according to police. Christopher Pedden, 36, of Fort Wayne, allegedly copped to giving himself the shaft after first claiming he was stabbed, according to court documents. During the totally nuts kindling plan, he poured gasoline on his severed genitals and set it on fire on the floor of the garage just inside the door. So he originally told the police that he'd been slashed in the city's downtown area. It soon copped being dishonest about the stabbing and told investigators he, quote unquote, wanted to be truthful. And they collected evidence from the garage, including a red plastic gas container, 4 lighters, and a kitchen knife. He was charged with arson and is due in court next week. So this was in May.
Somebody had way too much fun writing that article.
It's Fort Wayne, Indiana. So his arson plan was a bunch of junk. Cop to give himself the shaft.
That's amazing. The kind of journalist I would want to be.
Oh, man. Because it's not a long article. It's actually really short. So
it's extremely short. Yeah.
Type taking the time to write this and just making it funny. I'll even throw it up in the jumbo for you guys so you can see it. Who cuts their own dick and uses it to light a fire? Who cuts off their own dick to begin with?
Mentally ill
I have
people.
questions about all of that, but I don't know if I want the real answers.
It's weird. It's weird.
It is weird.
Are there any fun comments here?
Insane asylums.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna read through some of these comments on the post from the New York Post. How did you start a dick fire? I can't speak for everyone, but I don't think penises make very good kindling. At least he had the balls to finish the job. Keith Olbermann wilding out. That's not why we call it wood. Molotov cocktail?
That one's good.
Use what you have as God intended. Bro, a lighter only costs $1.09. Oh my gosh. Oh, now I have to
How much you want to bet he gets off with insanity? I'm just saying. Oh,
okay.
It's happening.
All right. The responses on Cat Turd's quote post is going to be even better. All right. There's a bluesman somewhere with his next big song idea, penisless arson blues. Ugh. That's the only money I would approve for gender reassignment. Well, it looks like we got rid of another prick. I can't start a fire without wet firewood, so good on him.
Mm-hmm.
I have on occasion had a penis like a steel rod, but I don't think I could ever have sparked flint with it. There are better accelerants for arson.
What? We're the one couple above that.
Like, what would make you think to pour fucking gas on your severed penis? First to sever your penis and then pour gas on it and light it on fire.
Brings a whole new meaning to chestnuts roasting on an open fire. He just whipped his wick out and lit it. Arrest the neighbor too. I have no idea what the neighbor did, but if you made a man so mad that he chopped off his own dick and burned it in your home, then you definitely did something. What in tarnation? Men, keep your penis away from flame and heat. They are apparently flammable. Should come with a warning. Set a man's garage on fire. What a dick move. He had a burning feeling down there. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm like tearing up. This is so funny.
This is honestly why I come to the internet. Like,
Bring the fire.
One hot pecker. I'll even go into the bubbles. Oh, I don't need that.
A match would work better.
Toilet. All right, what's another good account to look at? I bet you Juanita's got some good replies. No, these aren't as
Bunch
good.
of pictures. Yeah, it's just a bunch of pictures.
Man.
GIFs and stuff.
Some people have hobbies. Some people start fires with their dicks. If I can't use it, no one can.
What's up, Dot? We don't raise hands in here. We just kind of talk over each other.
We do. Oh, no, I have to read this one. Hold on. Cutting off your hose to light their place. Oh. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
There are spaces where nobody raises hands, and that's fine. It's just who I am. It's how I am. I'm just that old school. So, there it is. But no, Guys, I spent 16 years as a Leo, and if I had showed up on the scene of this case, if I'd been the responding officer, I'm sorry, but I would not been able. I would have had trouble calling in for backup and EMS. I'd have been laughing too hard. I'm sorry. I mean, no. I'd have been in shock and been laughing. I'm sorry. There are no two ways about this shit.
No, it's funny. Like the house did not burn down. The guy didn't die. So, you know.
I
might not have called for EMS and just because trust me, there are a bunch of big veins in the penis, and you don't have to have a huge penis to have big veins in it. I might have laid there and died, just bleeding out.
Imagine dying from a burning dick.
How'd your house burn down? My neighbor lit his dick on fire.
Right? Yeah. Like, how do you explain that to the insurance company?
And he probably had to. Like, there would have been damage in the garage.
Guys, imagine being the responding officer and describing this to fucking dispatch.
They'd be like, "You're not serious. No way you're serious."
All right, you guys want more of these replies that are funny?
Yes.
It's flick a bick, not flick your dick. New meaning for fire crotch. Oh my gosh. He must have been a real flamer. Oh.
I'm sorry, but there are so many people that don't understand the word flamer, so you might have lost a few people on that one.
I got it.
I think everybody in here probably got that.
Oh man.
So how you doing tonight, Sippy, Jinx, Truth? How y'all doing tonight? You know, I've been gone for a day or so. So how's everybody doing?
Oh, keeping busy. I'm not going to read any more of these. Those were funny though.
I mean, we were almost out of time anyway. So.
Oh.
And then apparently, Lone got a wild hair up his ass. Southern, is that like that?
What happened with Lone?
Yeah, what happened?
Southern. I know she's there.
What?
I said, so apparently Lone got a wild hair up his ass.
Why would he do?
I guess y'all have a space right after us.
Oh, we just said we do an after party one.
So he's getting prepared.
I heard you. I literally saw you say, did I agree to that?
I did.
Well, before we close things out, if you have not already seen our expose on Elizabeth Z. Cohen Sanchez, I threw it up in the Jumbotron. If you would give that a repost, that would be super awesome because we want to expose the Democrat ops, or in this place, the Act Blue asset.
She looks like a man.
She kind of does, yeah.
She's pretty ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yes, if you have not already seen it, please go give it a
dude,
look
it's
through.
like a female Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
Is it not? Tell me it's not.
It's Zuckerberg.
Dude.
I can see that.
But yes. She's got her fingers in a lot of pies and self-dealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from her PAC to her LLC. Has taken in over $20 million from Act Blue.
$20 million.
It's like 20.6 million, I think, in 16 months.
And then what her PAC pays her LLC that her parents own or something.
Yeah, her PAC received $20,000 in the first month that it was open, like the PAC was open. And then 3 months later, they refunded the $20,000. Like it was seed money. Like it was like a loan, essentially, is what it looks like. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go give it a look. Repost it if you haven't, please. Be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything? We've got like 4 minutes.
Can I tell a good thing?
Absolutely.
I have 4 granddaughters, 9, 7, 5, and 2.5. And I got a little Snapchat thing. I wish I could post it here, but my daughter doesn't want me to put them out there.
Smart
But
woman.
she sent me a Snapchat, and the 3 oldest are facing the youngest who's holding the flag, and the 3 oldest are saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and the youngest is holding the flag. And when they say da 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 and da 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 and all, and then she takes the flag and she just like shoves it right up in the air, and she goes, oh, starts running around the room.
I love it.
So, I mean, it was, she homeschools them, and they're on a farm with all the animals and stuff. And so it's just like, they do that, and they go to, their little studies and stuff. And it was just a feel good because, and I try to always end my night on a feel good, you know,
We do like
because
good.
there's so much crap during the day. But, you go to sleep with a feel good, then you just sleep better. But, you know, anyway, I just thought I'd send that out there.
Appreciate that.
Lori, as a grandfather, what you're talking about are those memories that you and I are going to take to the grave. We raised our children, and now we're watching our grandkids grow up. We're going to take those to the grave, and those are the ones you're talking about are the ones that we want to remember forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm real blessed with, and I will say this, I'm very blessed with my 2 daughters and the grandkids that I have. Because I'll be honest with you, I drank very hard, very long. They were there through all of it. And since I've been sober for how long I've been, it the communication and the improvement with my girls just got so much better. And, thankfully they forgave me for crap that happened. But I just love my girls, and they're doing a wonderful job. So, I say they are um, wonderful women, mothers, parents, partners, despite all the crap I put them through, because they saw what not to do. So they went the opposite way, and they're great. So they're those grandkids are just adorable. So
That's
anyway,
awesome.
that's my feel good.
Thank you.
Amen, little
Great.
darling. Amen. And I've got 2 sons myself. Now I still drink. I'm retired. Well, I work every day. I've got a working ranch, but I've got 2 sons and 6 grandkids. You said you had 7, and all but one of mine are grandsons, and I have 1 granddaughter. But she's the badass of the bunch. She's the eldest, and she's the badass of the bunch. She is the captain of the cheer team, and she ranked 3rd in state here in Texas in cross country her freshman year this year. So she is. Brooke is a badass.
That's
But
awesome.
no, just love your family and be the best version of you can be of you, little darling. Your family's gonna love you.
Hey, all you little darlings out there, we will see y'all Sunday.
Yeah, and real quick,
Well, actually, probably tomorrow.
yeah, we'll be live tomorrow, streaming the hearing day 4. And just to give you guys a heads up, this is something we've mentioned it a few times, but I'm going to keep mentioning it so that everybody can't say, but you didn't say. We are doing what we can to phase out spaces. They're not super reliable. They add an extra layer of frustration and annoyance when we are streaming. So we are testing out different streaming services to figure out what is going to work best. So right now we're using Rumble Studio, and it doesn't allow people to use the call-in feature from a phone. It only works from a computer. So we're wanting to, huh?
You like every time you like put your head down, it's like your mic stops catching it.
Weird. So the one we're using right now, you can't do the call-in feature and access it as a caller with a phone. It only works from a computer. So we're going to try out a few other platforms and see what we can find that we like best that will allow people to connect from a phone. So that those of you that are mobile will still have that option to join. You can either join as a caller or join as like a panelist. So we are looking for people that also would like to be a regular panelist. You don't have to be on camera. We're not going to require that. But just that you would be up there with us for an extended period of time. So if you're interested in being a panelist, let us know. And then be on the lookout for when we do close out spaces. It's not happening right away. I'm thinking probably by the end of August. You're muted, Sippy. Yeah. So.
How the fuck am I muted?
You
How the hell am I muted?
I saw your mouth move on the camera when nothing came through.
I wasn't muted. I wasn't muted.
Well,
anyways.
But yeah, so just a heads up that is something that is in the works. It's just we don't have a firm date on any of that yet. But X Live will still be going. We won't be getting rid of that.
Alrighty then. So yeah, Lone and Southern are doing a after party space for the rest of the night, apparently.
Yep. See you guys.
Well, thank you for letting me come in and speak, Sippy. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Absolutely. And if anyone else is going to wake up early in the morning, we'll have the stream running at 9 Mountain Time, so 10 Central, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. Yay, another early morning. Woo.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good one, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, you guys.